And welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today. Great to be with you. Glad you could make it. And we'll be here for, as we always are, for a couple of hours. And hope your day's going well. So far, so good, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. And I don't know what that would be, but that's okay. Getting ready for work, on the road, having breakfast, maybe, I don't know. Depends on when you listen to the show or watch it. It does air at different times in different markets, and hence you have to check your, what do they say? Your local listings?
Well, check your local listings. Especially we're in almost 60 markets now.
So you got to check them, right?
Yeah.
And we're global, so you certainly have time change there.
Yeah, it's everywhere globally. With especially if you go to our www.letstalknutrition.com page, where everything is archived. The shows are archived, the radio part of the show, and the video part of the show is archived. And your articles are up there.
Yeah. We're doing all right. One show at a time, one day at a time, one guest at a time. That's all we can do. That's all I know how to do. Living mindfully in the moment. Dr. Cass Ingram is our guest today. I know a lot of you will like that. He's, Dr. Ingram came on to the show 13 years ago. You weren't here then.
No.
Stephen was here. And I remember back then, I must say, his enthusiasm hasn't waned one bit.
No.
Just as animated as he was back then, that's how he is now, just as passionate about what he's doing. That's pretty remarkable. Usually people will taper off, as their career goes on. They get other things, other interests, or maybe they're done, right?
Right.
And he hasn't done that. He's still. You said you saw some video of him.
Yeah, getting cinnamon, looking for cinnamon in a mountain region.
There you go. That's exactly what I'm. Do you know where? Was it
No,
was it in Canada? Was it in? We'll have to ask him. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Was he with a crew or by himself?
It was just him.
I'm sure there was a crew with him though.
Yeah.
And so he's turned out to be, one of the more. We have people even requesting to ask about him all the time. I was telling him that recently, that he is one of the most. How do I put it? Talked about, or we get responses to him, Gary.
A lot of responses, and it's a lot different people too. It's younger folks and older folks. A lot of people that are just trying to eat right and get away from medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I was telling Dr. Ingram, I had sent him an email, and I was telling him that he's the only guest of all the guests that we have on here that consistently comes on and talks about pathogenic microorganisms.
Mm.
And he got me doing it. And so now I talk more about it, and it's an important topic because we're talking about infectious diseases here. Right?
Right.
You got different vectors. You can have anything from mosquitoes to whatever, but all these different categories and I've talked about them on the show, and I've tried to educate the audience about them. And I was telling him in an email that he owns that space.
Yeah, that is true.
He owns that space. Nobody else really comes on and does that, and that really is a service to the audience. People think viruses, bacteria, protists, worms, whatever. Yeah. And there's stories trending all the time about these pathogenic microorganisms taking people's lives. I see them all the time trending. And I'll report on them. Amoebas and whatever. Getting into the brain. I mean, it's just remarkable. So we're grateful that he does that. So the aforementioned Dr. Cass Ingram. Dr. Ingram, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
So, how's it going, my friend? Where you been?
I'm around.
Around? Okay.
The question is, where have you been? Where were you? Where was he?
I was on tour. I went to Pennsylvania, up and down on the Lyme disease tour, and also congestion, cold, and flu prevention, and so forth on a preventive assault because of the so-called 40,000 deaths of flu, which are absolutely senseless per year. And then I went up to Toronto, and there I was lecturing to large groups at the big public expo, and the lecture was the inflammation infection connection, bronchitis and sinusitis and COPD, emphysema, bronchiolitis, tuberculosis. Then another lecture on detoxing for weight loss. Now, you mentioned cinnamon. Now, of course, I wasn't in the forests of Canada on that one.
Okay.
I was in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And therefore, I visited Cinnamon Mountain for Ceylon cinnamon, which is a biodynamic and biological, completely organic mountain where they handpick the cinnamon, and then that goes into the Ceylon or Sri Lanka cinnamon, which is the original cinnamon, you see. So I wanted to support that ethnic community or that ethnobotanical approach. So they filmed me, and I'll be cutting some 3 to 5 minute videos. I have the video matter, so I'll be posting those here.
Oh, good, good. We'll run them. We can run those when we go to commercial breaks. We're still up on the stream. And we can run those during the commercial breaks on the stream, so it'll go global, not only in the continental United States, but it goes global.
Well, why don't we cut and paste and just send it to you then?
Well, send it. Have your people send it to Gary.
Yeah,
we're happy to do that. In fact, that would be
enjoy that.
That would be that's
easier.
great. That's content. That's content. Right. We would love to do that. We'll run those during breaks, and we'll have a banner. We'll put some banner there to identify you and what you're doing, and North American Urban Spice, Dr. Ingram in Sri Lanka, or something like that. Yeah, we'd be happy to do. That's great. That's a great idea.
And I saw a lot of people after the lecture, and they came, and there wasn't a lot of cold and flu and congestion. And I did want to talk today about how we could prevent all of that. But
good.
What I saw a lot of was the fungus.
See?
They were coming and saying, I have hypothyroid, I have Hashimoto's, and I have hyperthyroid, and I have irritable bowel, and I think I have arthritis, and my hands are stiff, my knees, and I say, look at your hands, stick out. Fungus. You got fungus, not all that nonsense.
How do people respond to that when you say that to them? I mean, they probably don't even know what you're talking about.
Some of them don't, but they go like, I do, and like, how did I get that? I said, well, you're a sweet lady. I am sweet. You really do. Yeah, you never did quit that sugar, did you, Mrs. Smith? No, I still, or they took too many antibiotics on and off for acne or for Lyme or for some other condition where they were on the antibiotic drugs for, say, 90 days or 6 months or a year. And so, you're talking about Lyme, which is a pandemic and is not good. You're talking about cold and flu. Go get your flu shot and whatever. But we're missing the big one, the big daddy, because we don't want to get sudden sickness and end up at the emergency care center. We're going to deal with that. But the chronic problem.
So when we come back, I know you want to talk about cold and flu, but I know the audience is probably asking, many are asking, okay, so fungus, what is it, where's it, you alluded to some of the risk factors. When we come back, if you could expand on that a little bit more. Dr. Kaz Ingram on Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and globally. Be right back.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. Following commercial messages, the show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. Sitting here during that break, and I was thinking about Dr. Ingram, and you have people come onto this show, and they all have a point of view, and they have a goal, and the things that they want to do and say, and I get it. But what I'm always looking for is, at the end of the day, when the guest is done, is the audience better for the guest's appearance? What did he or she contribute to their education, their insight, and their ability to take charge of their health? That's what I'm looking for, because I know at the end of the day, that's what's going to register with people. And you heard Dr. Ingram's going to talk about cold and flu, But I mentioned that he's the only guest, really, quite frankly, that puts a real big spotlight on pathogenic microorganisms. And he mentioned fungus. The statistics on fungus are stunning. If I said to you, fungal infections are estimated to occur in over 1 billion people each year, and the evidence suggests that it's continuing to rise, would you think I made that up? Well, I didn't. I'm looking at 4 or 5 different sources, references that support that assertion. And fungi can affect almost any part of the body: your skin, your nails, your lungs, your respiratory tract, your genital tract, your gastrointestinal tract, or it can be systemic. Dr. Ingham knows all these things, but most people are walking around unaware. Dr. Ingham, welcome back.
Yeah, sure.
So, if you could expand on what I said or what I didn't say, or if I said something incorrect. I mean, I think that topic is, I really come to appreciate this theme or this topic much more over the years. I really have.
Well, when I am in front of, say, 800 or 1,000 people, such as Toronto, and then they line up, many of them, I'm looking for the degree of fungal infestation, not whether or not it's there.
Huh.
So, I mean, why wouldn't I? Even colds and flu and bronchitis. Well, first of all, bronchitis is 100% fungal. That's been documented by bronchoscopy. You can look that up in postgraduate medicine. You can look it up anywhere you want. Sinusitis, the Mayo study we've talked about, 2000, where they discovered, they looked at 300 or so humans, 250, whatever it was, and they found that 98% of them had fungal infection, which would be mold, black mold, green mold, red rust mold, spores infecting the sinus cavities.
Wow.
Then you have the issue of bronchiolitis and pneumonitis, then fall pneumonia, chronic dry cough, allergic rhinitis. These are all fungal disorders. So I'm looking for, and why wouldn't I? Refined sugar consumption, GMOs, corn syrup, excessive use of antibiotics, beyond excessive, ridiculous use, and of course cortisone, H2 suppressing drugs, high carbohydrate diets, veganism. Veganism is fungal. Unfortunately, even the healthiest vegan, if they're vegan for 10 years or 7 years, they are fungally infested.
Why is that?
Well, what happens with veganism is that you do not challenge the body with sufficient animal food to force the production of hydrochloric acid. You know the Pavlov's dogs study where they would ring the bell, which was associated with the deposition of meat for them to eat, and the ringing of the bell caused this massive outpouring of hydrochloric acid. The smell of meat caused outpouring. But even if you eat eggs and cheese and milk, you get just a tiny amount of HCl. So by never eating any animal food as a religion or whatever, then the stomach involutes. You don't use it, it goes away. And if you don't have hydrochloric acid, how are you going to sterilize the fruits and the vegetables and the molds and the fungi and the candida that normally exist in the vegetation? So they develop fungal infection of the esophagus, of the fundus of the stomach itself, the duodenum, the intestinal canal. And we have to treat that for them to survive and thrive, or they become too alkalotic. They start to develop bone loss. They develop spontaneous fractures. They develop carcinoma. They readily develop lymphoma and such bone marrow cancers because the fungus suppresses. What I wanted to say is the fungus suppresses the immune system, leading to colds and flu, leading to winter illnesses. If you destroy the fungus, and if you maintain a approach where the fungus can't regrow, then you're not going to get sick. That's how serious it is. Don't forget, all the fungi, the black molds, the red rust molds, the green molds, the aspergillus, the stachybotrys, the candida, they all produce mycotoxins.
They do.
Nothing is more immunosuppressive to the immune system than mycotoxins. I mean, why have I been talking about wild oregano for the last 25 years?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. So wild oil of oregano, and the one in particular from North American Herb and Spice, keeps these fungal microorganisms in check.
Oh yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, one of the benefits of for example, P73 oregano or what have you, but the benefit of that type of wild oregano oil is it's edible. So if you're dealing with chronic fungus, it's not going to just go away.
No.
You have to have something that you can take on a regular basis for, let's say you've got an infestation, for a couple months, for 90 days, to eradicate it, so that you could take it every day, and then to take a little bit every day as a maintenance. Can you imagine? Oh, if I take it every day, my immune system will get used to it. It won't work. Oh, God.
No.
Will it hurt me?
No, it won't.
No. Am I going to get sick? Is it going to kill all my probiotics? Come on, give me a break.
Yeah.
Will it damage my kidney? Come on. Do you know of anybody with renal damage or renal failure from any kind of a spice? Turmeric, black seed, oregano oil? Give me a break.
No. You're listening to Dr. Cass Ingram, North American Herb and Spice. We got him coast to coast and we got him globally right here on Let's Talk Nutrition. We'll be right back.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and...
This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show will return shortly. LTN streams live Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and the LTN website. The show also airs on radio coast to coast, including Hawaii, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern. Please check your local listings. We'll be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko. Thank you for watching Let's Talk Nutrition. The show